Why would I throw in the towel? I just got in my bag. I don't make no mistakes. I'm coming for mine, and there ain't no one taking.
Hi, what it do? Welcome to the Court Report, brought to you by the Red Knight Special, and this is Word on the Net. I'm your boy Town Bears, and thank you for tuning in. If first time to the channel, hit that like, subscribe button, run this content up. Now check this out, man. Today we finna do a story on my boy. Check out Warren Cali, man, podcast, channel, man, Warren Cali, man. I guess I'm living up under a rock. I think this content was created about 8 months ago, maybe 10 months ago. I don't know, but it came across my timeline, so I wanted to get off into it. And it's weird because it's connected to something else I didn't even know nothing about. You dig what I'm saying? That I just start put pieces of things together. I just figured out. See, that's how you know I don't be in people politics about what's going on with or nothing. I just run across the internet. You know what I'm saying? I react to it. You know what I mean? So let's get to this content. And we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, I figured it is, your boy. Yeah, it is. Hope y'all having a wonderful, blessed day. Let's go.
Story of Big Devil from Hoover. Big Devil was born Edward Eugene Clark, March 30th, 1966. Devil will grow up in South Central and will grow up in what many people will call the height of gangbanging. By the 70s, the Hoovers were a well-respected gang on the west side of South Central, gaining a deadly reputation and respect among their peers. The Hoovers are comprised of several different sets under the Hoover umbrella, like the 5 Deuce, 5-9, 7-4, 8 Tray, 9 Deuce, 9-4, 107, and 11 Deuce Hoovers. It was 2 additional Hoover sets, being 4 Tray and 9-0 Hoover, but many 4 Tray members went to jail and some died in wars. Now, their territory is the Rolling 40 Crips turf, which is a Hoover rival. But the Hoovers still count 4 Tray and even count them as 716 term they use to rep all Hoover sets. 716 is just a term the Hoovers use to add all the Hoover sets up. Now, the 9-0 Hoover story is a lot different. They would leave the Hoovers after getting into an altercation with another Hoover set, and they would later leave to become Rolling 90 Crips, becoming Hoover rivals. And the Hoovers would have a long list of rivals. Some of the Hoovers' top rivals would be the Neighborhood Crips and gangs affiliated with the Neighborhood Crips, like the Rolling 30 Crips, the Rolling 40 Crips, the Rolling 50s, the Rolling 60s, the 6'5 Menlos, the Rolling 90 Crips, and the collective of Rolling 100 Crip gangs, among several others. So growing up in this type of environment, Big Devil would become locked into the streets and the bloodshed that came with it. He would earn his name for the lifestyle he would live. Big Devil was first arrested as a juvenile for beating another teenager to death. Then as he got older, the charges began to rack up. Big Devil would later be arrested for taking advantage of and assaulting an elderly woman and shooting her son during a robbery as an adult charge. Once in prison at Calipatria State Prison, Devil gained a reputation as a fierce and aggressive individual and did a lot by force. He would become a leader with a lot of pull in the Hoover car. He would be putting in a lot of work and had a lot of people scared, even his own homies. He was known to take advantage of a lot of the inmates, even his own homies, by taking their manhood. A Hoover by the name of Gumpy, who I did a previous episode about, was falsely accused of murder and would arrive at Calipatria State Prison. He would immediately see that Devil was a shot caller in the Hoovers, and by this time, Devil spent 20 years incarcerated in California state prisons, so he had a lot of pull with the gang. Devil was in a relationship with a correctional officer named Lisa. She worked on his tier. Lisa eventually quit her job, and they married. According to a corrections department report, she began visiting Devil in prison and supplying him with PCP-laced cigarettes that he sold to other inmates. As Big Devil's substance abuse grew, he became excessively violent and also became a predator to other inmates with violating them. He is what you would call a booty warrior. Gumpy would say that Big Devil was an animal when he was drunk and said that
That's crazy because, like, I tell people, you know what's crazy about this story is, right? If you listen to it, like, I was watching No Jumper, Whack 100, and Compton Rick Rock was on there talking. And they was on there saying something about, yeah, you know, in LA, we don't get down. LA gangs, you know, we don't call, we ain't with that. We don't get down. You got kicked out the car, you with that, or whatever the case it may be. But then Whack 100 turn around and say, but we do have homies that get down like that, though, that's on the low that you'd never know, you know what I'm saying? Or that they know about, but they ain't, you know what I'm saying, pressing the line, letting people know. You hear me? And I just want people to know it's not where you from, man. It's not like, oh, all LA dudes get down like this, man. You got people in Oakland, LA, New York. It's around the world situation. No matter where you go. You can go to UK, you're gonna run into some booty bandits up there. You dig what I'm saying? That's just the way it is, man. These people is crazy, man. And the reason why I got off into this story because OG Gumby right here, right? I didn't know. I watched it. I mean, I was hearing someone that's like, yeah, OG Gumby got something. You know what I'm saying? He the one whoop whoop. I said, nah. They say, yeah, check it out. So I'm watching it, man. I'm like, wow, I need to share this with the people. But y'all probably already seen it though. But I just wanted to recap on it. You know what I'm saying? Put my own pit on it. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to it.
If he took someone's manhood, nobody was going to do anything. A group of fellow Hoovers even tried to stage an intervention with Big Devil. In the words of a fellow inmate, they would say that Big Devil was a time bomb waiting to go off. But Devil and Gumpy will have a problem themselves. Devil had a grudge against Gumpy ever since an alarm had signaled for inmates to drop to the ground, and Devil's cellmate was caught tossing aside a glove containing a knife, and Devil wanted Gumpy to take the blame since he was serving life without parole. Gumpy refused, so Devil and Gumpy's relationship would turn sour. Devil decided he had to take out Gumpy. To be marked by Devil was to be marked for death or losing your manhood. Gumpy seemed to be facing both, and he refused either outcome. On the morning of November 28th, 2000, Devil approached Gumpy in the yard and stabbed him in the side. He would whisper in Gumpy's ear, "You're my bitch now." Devil tossed the weapon and went away. Gumpy would then go to a nurse, and none of the guards seen the attack. Even if they did, Gumpy wouldn't have told. Most of the victims that Devil had didn't tell guards anything. On the prison yard, inmates got patted down before returning to their cells. It was not uncommon for guards to find weapons hidden in a sock, or shoes, or tucked in waistbands.
My problem is with this story, right, is if you got one of your that's like what young Ann Hefe said, man. I gotta shout out young Ann Hefe on this. He was like, man, when it come to even my homeboys on A Trade Gangs, whatever he claimed, you feel me? He was like, if one of them bad, he bad. I ain't gonna say, oh, that's my homie. I'm only gonna call him out when you know what I'm saying, when I feel like it's time to call him. I like, no, he bad, he poison, cut the poison off. You feel me? And I respect Young Hefe for saying that, because that's the way the game supposed to go. You dig what I'm saying? Now, what I'm trying to understand is that y'all saying this dude was running around, get to drinking Pruno, get to doing his thing, and then get high on drugs, whatever. Then he'll just start going bad, and everybody can be a victim. Anyone, his homeboys, anybody can be a victim. Why did y'all wait until Gumby had? But it was a blessing, from what I understand, why Gumby got into the situation that he did with dude. You dig what I'm saying? Because he probably would have still been sitting there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, how many victims did he have? That means to me, it's like a bunch of followers. Because me personally, and I'm not just trying to say I'm some big bad dude and nothing like that, but I know me as a person, man. I don't care. It's only so much I can take, bro. And you ain't finna be pressing me on no homosexual stuff. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take me down. No, we ain't having that. You know what I'm saying? So I shout out to OG Gumby for putting that mood down, taking that monster up out of here, man. And may he rest in peace or whatever the case. But may he not rest. May he rest in hell. Because like they said, he was Big Devil. So Big Devil was finna go down to hell. You know what I'm saying? Now, no disrespect to his hood and his homeboys. But if your own homeboys in prison is saying that they were scared of him and they was getting tired, he was a ticking time bomb, then y'all should have got rid of him before it even went that far. Like when he got to taking his own homeboys, but y'all should have been on it. You know what I'm saying? See, people be intimidated by size, man. You see a big buck, swole dude running around, everybody scared because he's strong. He's throwing up the most weight in the yard. Man, listen here, bro. I don't care how tough that dude is. That skin ain't and it's not gonna stop this knife from penetrating, man. And that muscle ain't gonna stop your scalp from getting peeled back by this weight that I'm gonna grab off this bench and bust you in the head with. And back in them days in the California prisons, they had weights in there. That's why he looked it like that. That's why they took the brakes out of the prison in California, because guys was coming out looking like monsters. You had guys so big in there that was so swole that they were breaking handcuffs. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why they took the weights out of the California prisons, because even the correctional officers was too scared of these dudes. Like, man, these dudes big monsters up in there. So what they do, get rid of the weights. Now you got all kind of calisthenic weights, lifting up your bunk bed, lifting up bags of water. Anyway, let's get back to the content.
According to an official report, a guard placed his hands on the Devil's body and extended his arms outward for inspection. Gumpy watched a few feet away with a weapon as the guards bent over to pat Devil's legs. Gumpy leaped forward and stabbed Devil in the neck. The blade punched the Devil's voice box. Blood spurted in the air, and the guard, who never seen a prison murder before, pulled his pepper spray out. He yelled to everybody, "Get down." All the men in the yard sat on the ground, and Gumpy laid on his stomach. He would say, "I already know what I did," he told the guards. Devil staggered onto a patch of grass, helplessly. By the time a doctor attended to Big Devil, 30 minutes later, Devil was dead at the age of 34. Gumpy will be charged for Big Devil's murder at first, but it was later determined it was self-defense. his original murder charge that he was in for, he would be proven to be innocent.
Shout out to OG Gumby, man, for putting that move down, man. I know you didn't want to do it. Like I think somebody was saying something. I seen somewhere he was like, man, I was scared. I wasn't on no tough guy stuff. I was scared knowing that no, you ain't finna stick yo you know what I mean? Do your thing with me. I ain't having it, man. You feel me? So I respect it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dudes be throwing false narratives in the air on the internet, man. I don't think that's real shady for people to be throwing stuff like that. Oh, he was in there giving fellatio to that boy. That's why. Nah, man. Come on, y'all quit throwing that jacket on this man. Man, this internet is. I tell you, this is the devil's playground. This internet is the devil's playground, man. Because you got a little bit of positive energy on here, but everything on here from you know what I'm saying? It's all negative energy. And people be like, oh, well, but it is. Gang banging, gangs, all this stuff. If you're speaking on this stuff and speaking on the things going on in the street, it's all negative. What can you learn from it? If your content ain't about telling these people or these kids who watching, man, this ain't the life you want to live. See what we going through. We had to hold it down because we were forced to hold it down. But I wouldn't choose this life for even my own kid. That's how you supposed to be talking to the people on here, not glorifying. It's like I don't walk through this yard. I did 15 years here, did 10 over here. Now I'm out here. That ain't how you do this, man. Now you're going to get these young, simple-minded kids who looking up to you. Oh, man, I got to go to prison because that's what happened to me when I was young. I'm listening to all these OGs because all I hung around was OGs. And they wasn't talking like they wanted me to go to prison. They was just telling their stories about what they've been through, them getting shot, them being on the prison. I used to be like, man, I can't wait to experience that. I can't wait to experience that. You feel me? And I used to tell my homeboy, I said, man, I can't wait, man. I'm going to get shot in the leg to see how it feel. And lo and behold, a month later, I got shot right between the eyes, right here. The bullet, a 9mm bullet came in right here and popped out the side of my head. You dig what I'm saying? So the gang banging thing is real, man. I mean, the street culture is real. This lifestyle is real. So when I be speaking on this, man, I want y'all to know I'm not a dude that was born in the 90s or something, in the early 20s, while I've been sitting in the house on the internet all my life and never had no experience with the streets and nothing like that. Because I've definitely been in the streets all my life. You feel me? But I'm just saying, though, this ain't a game for you youngsters who watching this, man. Look at this young man. I mean, the OG Gumby life could have been taken forever, man. But if it wasn't for the situation that he had to go through with this dude, the Big Devil, you know what I'm saying? Then he wouldn't be able to be free on these streets today. And he got broke off like $5 million. You feel me? So, you know, he did good. Now, how much of that 5 he keep? I don't know. You know what I mean? But you got to think, he bought you a house, buy you a nice car. You know what I'm saying? Or probably try to open up a little business or something. But anyway, man, let's get back to the content.
And he will walk free. Big Devil was a monster and a menace in the streets, and also in jail. He was a terror. He met his fate in a gruesome way, and the things he did is the reason why. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episode.
Yeah, man, I just wanted to tap in with y'all, man. Now that supposed to be a story about your boy Big Devil. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to OG Gumby, man, that he made it out of that situation unscathed. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't knock gangbangers, man. You know what I'm saying? Or gang members, should I say. Our gangbangers is just certain ones that's out there pushing that certain line on this internet, right? Because when you really pay attention, any person in the streets that's not trying to be on the internet popping their hood politics, them the respectable ones right there. It's not the ones that's on the internet popping and always talking. I'm not saying a lot of them. I'm going to say most of them are not like that. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, they not, because you wouldn't get on here talking about how many hats you got and how many girls you put on the strip unless you just a straight lost cause out here. You feel me? But anyway, man, y'all hit that like, subscribe button on y'all way up out of here. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Shout out to OG Gumby, man, for shooting that on me, for doing what he had to do to make it home, man, to back to his family. All right, I'll tap in with y'all again. Check me out on the next video.
Why would I throw in the towel? I just got in my bag. I don't make no mistakes. I'm coming for mine, and there ain't no one taking my